Having inflicted some wounds on health care reform, Republicans are now threatening to block another major Democratic priority. Our number 2 story, the Party of No reveals their next target, climate change legislation. Republicans are blaming the health care battle as reason not to back a climate change bill. Politico reporting that after the partisan fighting, normally gettable Republicans are not lending their support. Susan Collins says cap and trade talks are stalled. Lindsey Graham, who has been working on a bipartisan bill, says in order for climate change legislation to pass, the climate in the Senate needs to change. It makes it hard to do anything because of the way this was handled. With Democrats split, the bill won't have much steam without backing from the GOP, but Senator John Kerry promises full steam ahead. Not a chance in hell that after the president put American prestige on the line in Copenhagen, that the Senate is going to give this issue anything less than a major push. Congress is not a one-trick pony, incapable of tackling more than one big issue, and the cost of tackling climate change would only grow if the Senate got weak-kneed and kicked the can down the road. Not going to happen. But Senator Dick Lugar of Indiana says cap and trade talks have been delayed by the health care bill almost indefinitely. The question will be how many more battles members of Congress want to take on in an election year. Time now to call in MSNBC political analyst Richard Wolff. He is also senior strategist at Public Strategies and author of Renegade, The Making of a President. Good evening, Richard.
Good evening, Lawrence.
Is that line from Senator Lugar all we really need to know about where Republicans are in this legislation? They are not going to let this happen in an election year?
Pretty much. It's not just Republicans, of course. Democrats are also deeply troubled by the prospects of the election next year. It is the ultimate in short-term thinking. What happens next year versus what happens to the long-term fate of the planet. But there is another calculation, and this is the challenge for the White House and for the Democratic allies in Congress, is to convince the Republicans that this isn't just about the planet or the economy or future technology, but there is this geopolitical game going on here. Senator Kerry was right when he said the president put American credibility on the line in Copenhagen. Against that, China has been trying to box in America, trying to blame the collapse of everything onto American politics, and Republicans are playing into the hands of the Chinese that obstructed this whole deal moving forward. So if they really want to help the Chinese out, let them grow, let them pollute, let them do whatever they like, they should go ahead and just think about the election. But it's not helping them, it's not helping the country, it's certainly not helping the planet.
Now, Senator Kerry is absolutely right when he says that the Congress is not a one-trick pony, but haven't the Republicans become a one-trick pony, and that trick is obstructionism?
Oh, I think Congress is more of an old, tired workhorse than a one-trick pony. You know, they say they could do 2 things in 2 years, 2 big things in 2 years, and then they're really tired and have to go away for a long break. When you look at obstructionism, that's the kind of polite way to put it. What the Republican Party really saw in President Obama was a mortal threat to their political future. A guy who could win Indiana, North Carolina, and Virginia threatened to really transform American politics. So they had to make him unpalatable, unacceptable to any kind of moderate or any Republican or independent voter. That's what this is about. It's not just saying no. It's making him seem extreme, making the whole agenda out of the mainstream. So obstructionism is a nice way to put it. I think it's much more extreme than that.
Now, Lindsey Graham has been viciously attacked by some Republicans for even thinking about working with Democrats on climate change. And so doesn't that indicate that the Senate Republicans are really pushing toward party unity on this one, and there won't be any Republicans available?
I think they may be able to pick off 1 or 2 for the Democrats. Maybe Lindsey Graham will come in with something, but they are putting a huge amount of pressure, and this kind of party unity has worked for Republicans. It has helped them rebuild themselves with their base. They've held together very well in the House, but from the start this was happening. I mean, this is a party that voted entirely against the stimulus package that was going to bring money to their districts and states. If you're going to vote against money going to your districts and states to help people get jobs or to get back into work or to deal with unemployment, then this stuff is just beyond the pale. So I think party unity is going to be pretty easy for them at this stage.
Now, Harry Reid has done a brilliant job of putting the 60-vote coalition of his caucus together on health care reform. Just an astonishingly brilliant tactical job doing that. Is there any chance he can pull those 60 votes out of a hat on climate change?
On parts of climate change, yes. You're going to see money going to, again, districts and states, things like technology. You can expect the coal states to be bought off with a supposed clean coal technology. But the cap and trade, the stuff that's going to impose costs on the economy, and even the president as a candidate said it would be costly, things that threaten to change the fate of the economy, that stuff isn't going to survive. Technology and money, yes.
Richard Wolff, many thanks.
Thank you, Lawrence.